Are we rolling? Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Alright, let's watch this shit.
And then he got a bunch of backlash for it. And then he posted that he had been banned from Twitch, which has an impressive
Bed posted.
22,000 comments. Got quoted by Elon.
Pretty good.
A lot of engagement there. Really good. Of course, he got
really
banned from
good.
Twitch in 2022. Over 3 years ago. It was just a bit. But Fox News reported it as though he had actually gotten banned. Like,
actually.
Yeah. Which, not to suggest that I had any kind of high esteem for the editorial, I don't know, guidelines, or I guess like fact-checking ability of Fox News.
It's almost nighttime.
They would run with, he's been banned from Twitch. Like, no one even thought to Google, like, not even thought to Google it. What it essentially means is that there is no filter between...
And it's going down, huh?
Hey, look at this tweet, and it being put on Fox News. Like, there's not even a guy in the middle going, okay, how do we frame this to optimize our own outcomes or whatever? Literally, they're just pitching tweets. It might as well be a live stream.
Might as well be. Oh god, eat it.
Entomophagy is better at this scale.
Jesse Waters is literally in VGG right now. Oh, we don't claim him. Okay. We need to go back. We need to go back to the beginning.
We don't claim them.
Jasmine Crockett or Maxine Waters or Chuck Schumer or AOC or Bernie Sanders, all of these bastards call us fascists.
Been quite active on social media.
Arrogant self, come on, man. We don't have
Because you're fucking fascists.
Wait, did Destiny fucking replace Cornel West? Whitewashing the fucking Pierce Morgan debate.
Destiny is Cornel West.
Go on and make your money, man.
Right.
Go and make your money, man.
Article to quit a debate, but we're literally debating about the importance of free speech and being able to listen to each other's opinions, which seems to me completely insane. Anyway, we've lost Cornel West for now. Maybe
Goodbye,
we'll get him
Cornel.
back.
What the hell?
Referred to Destiny's insane
Goodbye, Mr.
tweet.
West. Off to pay child support payments.
I thought I had two canteens.
Neo-Nazi. I've debated a lot of neo-Nazis. This guy, I think this guy is the one that I had the birth rate conversation with.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think this is Posobiec, isn't it?
Posobiec.
Why does he look, and I'm saying this with the inflection of like a racial slur, British?
British.
We all know who Kasparian is.
Got it.
Anna Kasparian. Well, Destiny joins.
He looks so
Destiny, you've
stunned,
active on social
like a
media
fucking deer in
since
headlights.
Charlie Kirk's death, when Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet.
Why would you tag your dead husband?
You posted on X buying flags and poles just to fly them fully
So
erect.
weird.
And you then posted yesterday, ending every conservative debate call out I'd do in 2026 with
I'm fully
That's
erect.
not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Where's this fucking pond at?
Free speech, right? It's the shoes now on the other foot. Okay, we had our fun back in 2015 with the Tumblr rights, but here we are on the other side. No more being edgy. No more fuck your feelings. Now everyone has to handhold and pearl clutch. Come on, man. I thought humor was illegal. I thought comedy was made legal again. What the fuck happened?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into
What
a better
happened
world is
was
conservatives can finally
they
realize
did
that
it
they need to
first,
turn the temperature
so
back
now
on
it's
their
our
side.
turn.
We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature.
I don't
on
see a
their
fucking
side.
pond.
I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive,
True.
he shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. all of the
True.
political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old.
Can I get over here now?
No, Destiny. He didn't have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans.
Classic Piers Morgan. Every time he starts the show, he flips the coin on what side he's going to take today.
Am I getting attacked?
Statistically provable fact that conservatives commit the majority of political violence with the, oh, well, who did the most research?
Oh, later.
Well, that's funny, Piers Morgan. Would you make that same point after the next time? Well, it's funny because there was an act of political violence from the right that happened 5 minutes after Charlie Kirk was shot. It was a 16-year-old neo-Nazi who shot up a school. We don't have these conversations then. 9 times out of 10, it's a conservative, and when it's a conservative, Piers Morgan would never be like, oh, well, who did it most recently? You know? Only when a person wasn't explicitly conservative will Piers Morgan sit down and go, okay, well, I'm not really interested in the broader data. What I want to know is who did it most recently.
Wait, what the fuck?
He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys were wrong on all of that.
Trans bullets?
The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry. Excuse me. When?
This is false, by the way. That's not true.
Yesterday, you said that. The
No.
governor.
When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know the very reasonable sounding governor of Utah has made it clear that the
Reasonable sounding? What the fuck are we? Well, all right. I don't know if it's true or not. I heard it from a guy, and he sounded like, I don't know. It sounded convincing from him. So I feel like this is true. How do you respond? This is why I ignored my fucking
Motherfucker, bitch.
Jesus Christ, this guy's an intellectual black hole.
you may not want to hear this.
ongoing investigation.
You may not want to hear it, Destiny, but the reality is the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that
Established.
We're using cop speak here, you know. Yeah, the extremely competent FBI and local Utah law enforcement have, over the course of just a few days, despite not being able to capture this guy, who turned himself in, basically, through his family, were able to comprehensively determine the entire motive. I know typically determining the motive of a shooting is unless there's like a manifesto, you need like a whole investigation and there's a trial and everything, but no, they got this worked out, dog.
Manifesto.
Charlie Kirk. Now let me just ask you.
Not true.
Let me just ask
no
you.
way to deal with it.
Okay,
You're living in a
accusing the
delusional
governor of
fantasy.
lying.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But if it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United
What is
States
this?
can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So
The
you
fact
won't
that he
condemn
can go
the
on
murder of
Fox and
Charlie
Friends-
Kirk
I'm
until
just-
Donald Trump says
Here's-
something.
I'm a YouTuber.
Don't give an
And
inch.
Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald
Whoa.
Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Well, he did once. He did after January 6th, right? He had to be like have his arm twisted by a fucking.
Why am I locked in here?
Of Senate Democrats, the military, and Mike Pence. They all had to like fucking gang up on him in the hallway outside the Oval Office and beat him with a stick until he agreed to go out there in the Rose Garden and say, "All right, my little pog champs, everyone go home.
How do I get out of
I'm
here?
tired. Let's go." Like that was the one. That was the only.
Oh, this is like
time he
teleportation.
Also, after that one dipshit took a shot at Trump, there was like a few months long period where Trump was a little more quiet, a little more
weird.
conciliatory. I don't know. He saw the ghosts. And he
Where am I going?
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why would you
decide
expect
to
anybody,
calm down?
Destiny?
You
What-
can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why can't
can
Trump
you
go on
answer
TV and
this
say,
Wait a minute.
all of us should be less violent?
Why do you
can't
think?
Trump say that?
Where does this put me?
Contingent on Donald Trump.
Insane right now.
Why do you
Is
think?
your
No, let me
behavior
ask a
contingent
question.
on Donald Trump?
Let me ask.
Kasparian pulling Trump's cockhead out of her throat to finally
Oh.
speak up. But Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur, by the way, have just fully been on the right.
It's
over the
over
past
here.
year or so. I don't know. Like, I'm not covering this shit, I guess. It's just, there was like a window of time where it was interesting because it felt like they were kind of, dancing on the
okay.
fence about, being bought out by the
Can't
right.
get
But there's
out.
not really any ambiguity, so there's not much point in talking about it.
Question.
Because he's the president of the United States of America and the leader of the opposing
Destiny.
political party.
Destiny. Let me
You
get.
have a huge audience of young men who
I'm a
listen to
YouTuber
everything you have to
who
say.
has more
So
young
when
men
you,
following
it
him.
doesn't matter.
Who has
You have a
more young-
huge
it doesn't
audience, and
matter.
because of
Does
the
it
fact that you
matter?
have a huge audience,
And
you
your
have
brain
a
has been
responsibility.
broken by
This is, by the way, this is basically just the political violence equivalent of the redistricting debate, where there are
Nothing like
well-meaning dipshits on the left who are like, no, we shouldn't participate in the destruction of the democratic process by gerrymandering. And it's like, an opposition to gerrymandering
Jesus.
is meaningful only if everyone does it. If the other side is gleefully gerrymandering and you're the one boldly proclaiming that you won't do it, you're basically just admitting that you're open to attack, you know? Likewise, like what Anna Kasparian and everyone else here is essentially saying is, what they want a world where only the right relentlessly escalates the violence. Like what they want a social environment where every single person on the right, from the president of the United States to just random dipshit social media acolytes, are non-stop calling for the temperature to be raised. Civil war, they've finally done it. Violence in the streets,
Yep.
blood in the streets, day of the
Let's reestablish
non-stop
homeostasis.
escalating all the time from the entire right. But you know, we need to have like a serious conversation about it when anyone on the left not only engages in it, refuses to condemn
Jesus!
people. Like it's not only like, well, you can't do it, you have to performatively disavow it. But we would never apply that standard in the other direction.
online rhetoric.
No,
And
it
your
hasn't.
brain
It
has
hasn't been broken. I
destroyed
actually care
because
about the
people
country
bullied you on
and want to bring
Twitter.
people together.
If
You do the opposite.
Oh, look, it's Charlie Kirk's mic.
You're
Violent.
embarrassing.
You should tell
You're
Donald.
embarrassing.
All right, let me ask
Watch how
Destiny
easy
a
this is.
question.
Watch how easy this
No,
is.
hang on.
If
Don't
Donald
all
Trump
shout
would've
at
come out
once,
and say-
please.
If Donald Trump would have come out and
Destiny,
say, "Hey, we should all be less violent,"
Destiny,
I have no problem saying.
I have one
absolutely.
question for you,
Why
Destiny.
can't
Oh
conservatives
my
do that?
god, what is
Destiny, I
this?
have a question for you. Why do you think in your campaign
I have a question for you.
dial down the temperature? Why do you think that mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image of her at the coffin side? Why?
He's such a fucking.
That's
retard.
kinda weird.
He's literally like, where is part of your campaign to promote peace in Europe? Do you think it's acceptable to make fun of Hitler shooting himself? Like, what the fuck? It's a non sequitur. No, it's actually not a non sequitur. Like, people like Charlie Kirk are the main propagators of this social problem. Like, you are they need to be.
Spit it the fuck out, Vaush.
Do you think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United
You
States
inflame
is
the
not
temperature.
able
You're
to-
mocking
no,
his
it's already
widow.
inflamed.
You're
What are you
mocking his
talking
widow.
about? We've had
Why the
multiple
fuck would he need to
presidents-
say anything? The president of the United States needs to fucking come out and say it.
Mocking a widow has nothing to do with. We're not talking about like turning up or down the temperature. You just want to virtue signal for the sake of your conservative audience. Fucking Pierce Morgan, dude. Every time with the fucking point.
I ain't fucking with you right now, mosquito.
What do you mean? It's turning up the temperature.
Why did you
to
mock
fight
his
someone
widow?
Online because
Why did
she's
you
being
mock his
used
widow?
as because she's being used as a political.
Why did
weapon
you
right
mock
now
his
for
widow?
conservatives to continue their fight. What do you mean? Wow, she's literally doing
Her husband
recruitment
Wow.
on email. Yeah, she's used.
She got her husband got murdered 48
Wow.
hours later. She's posting a video of her creepily stroking his dead hand, going, "The left will regret when they made an enemy of me." I'm gonna ask for. I'm gonna send out twice as many fundraising emails.
Oh
as
my
Charlie Kirk
God.
would have. My cry will echo around the world like a battle cry. They put that in the email. Chat, did she seriously do that?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. There was no private grieving. She didn't give a fuck. The nanosecond Charlie died, somebody walked up to her like the fucking ombudsman of Turning Point USA, and he was
What
like,
is
"You could make
this?
probably around $700,000 more this quarter if you post a video of you stroking his hand."
Mm-hmm.
Then he handed her a camera.
Disgusting.
Using it to drive up recruitment for
And
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You
The
won't condemn
president
it.
can't even tell his
He
son
did
to
condemn it,
down.
just not on
But you
your
won't
show.
condemn the murder
It is such a
because you're
joke,
waiting
and
for
you guys
Donald
sit here
Trump
and
to
make
say
money
something.
off of it. It's
All right, let me bring
crazy
in.
to
Let me
me
bring
that
in Jack.
Republicans can't
Let me
do
bring
it.
in. let me
Is
bring
this
in
the
Jack.
pond?
I gotta
And
say.
there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say
Which question?
Why can't Donald Trump simply go on TV and say we all need to turn it down?
Fine.
We were, by the way, like not having this conversation after the assassinations in Minnesota. Like, do you think Pierce Morgan
Nope.
would have done this the other way around? Like, you would have had a rambunctious conservative on, and Pierce Morgan would have been like, "Why won't
Oh,
you
fuck.
condemn?" Of course not. Absolutely not. It's such insane double standard that we're held to. We have to constantly be the better men than the world's most violent, immature, myopic, self-destructive children. Like it's like you can't even push them off you while they're crawling up to you trying to kill you.
God damn, where are all these fucking scorpions?
Like the Clintons, like Kamala could. Why not?
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
He did.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
He did.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
He
It
did.
wasn't my side that caused it. It should be
Yes,
the
it
one that is
was.
driving up
It
the
actually
road.
was your side.
Really, really robust conversation happening here. You can really tell Pierce Morgan's super duper interested in like exploring these ideas.
It was your side.
Was raised in a white
It was a radicalized leftist ideology.
radicalized by leftism at all. You have no proof of that whatsoever.
That's what
Just
the
like one that killed
investigators are
Melissa
saying.
Was a conservative.
Pierce Morgan, super duper skeptic, you know, always on top of the criticisms, always out there looking for the other angle. Republican says, yeah, he was a leftist ideologue. He shrugs and goes, okay, I believe it. None of the evidence that's been put forward so far indicates that at all. We have leaked Discord messages from Tyler Robinson's conversations with roommates and with his partner, and none of them indicate some kind
Where
of
the
like.
fuck are you going?
There's literally no evidence at that point. He woke up one morning and he, crying Jesse Pinkman, me when I have to shoot the leader of TPUSA because I'm bored. Like, that was his ideology, it seems. He probably had like a left-leaning bent in the sense that you will have a left-leaning bent in this country if you're not Hitler. If you aren't Hitler, like if you're a normal human being with normal human emotions, you'll have a left-leaning bent. You'll wake up and go, wow, these people are all like weird, and our president is a pedophile rapist, and it's weird that they want to hold a UFC
True.
White House lawn. It's weird how they want to destroy this country and don't care about the law. But I don't think that's like
Yep.
ideological radicalization. I just think normal people are, in this context, left-leaning, you know? Much in the same way, like if you dropped a normal person into Nazi Germany, they would be like immediately branded as a trade unionist or a communist, and they'd be lynched.
Just like the people that firebombed Shapiro's house was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were
Mhm.
conservatives, Proud Boys were conservative. Every single one of these people. Person that,
Hey yo, I'm a dipshit, yo.
Destiny to condemn the murder of Charlie
Yes, you
Kirk.
are acting like an unhuman.
why can't I hear
Husband? He's putting on such an affect with his voice. I've heard it before. This is just how I talk normally. I'm like super disappointed in you right now, Steven.
So, all right, you won't condemn it. Okay, we've all
can't hear it.
heard.
That's insane
We've
to
all
me.
heard you repeatedly refuse to.
Is putting on that voice the reason why he looks like a deep sea anglerfish? Do you think? Do you think like the contortions he's subjecting his vocal cords to are the reason why every muscle in his face is being pulled downward?
You heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn it
Jack
too. But for some
Posobiec.
reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening. Jack Posobiec.
I find it sickening.
Again, like the fucking pause for him.
I find it
always
sickening.
goes back to the fucking pearl clutching, like always with Pierce. It's so fucking disgusting. Like Pierce Morgan literally brands himself as this like edgy, roguish, free speech warrior, but his actual engagement in these debates, 50% of the time, comes down to, why won't you give me a clip? Why won't you give
What
me
is
a clip?
with these
You should feel
fucking-
awful right now for not giving me a clip.
That when people are getting killed in the country, the president of the United States on Fox and Friends, when they're begging him, what do you say to your followers that want revenge? He says, I don't know, all the elections are rigged. It's the Democrats. That's insane to me. And then the fixation is, well, who on Twitter and YouTube isn't condemning the violence?
All right, Jack Posobiec.
You have a great example here of the type
YouTubers
of
aren't
talking about.
condemning the
They
violence.
present direct information. They refuse. They obfuscate. They refute. They say it's not true.
What are you even talking about, dipshit?
From bullet casings, you could see from postings, you could see from everything out there that it's very clear what happened here.
What the fuck are you talking about? You retard. What are you talking? Genuinely, what the fuck are you talking about? You've had
True.
to prepare your opening statement.
This is the same people.
He's a
who
fucking
supported
dipshit.
Trump almost getting assassinated twice last year. Corey Capatore being assassinated
By
last year.
conservatives.
In a
Corey
situation-
Capatore.
Again, see, just lies. That's all they do. They talk over. They don't even let you give a chance to speak.
Wait, has he had Botox recently? Would that explain like the face and the vocal fry? Why is he doing that? He's not emoting at all. Is he trying to hold frame or is it Botox?
He's trying to hold frame.
The Mar-a-Lago face.
And something needs to be
Hold
done.
frame.
Absolutely needs to be done. This ideology should be
Can I get in here? Ooh.
humiliated, driven from the public discourse.
Ooh.
You've got people who have completely dissociated with humanity because all they care about
I should
clicks,
probably eat.
YouTube
I
streams,
heard he got a BBL, but he tells people that it's real. He should stand
A
up.
BBL.
likes. Go
Would the real
go
Slim
to the
Shady
casket,
please stand
go to
up?
the gravesite. Go talk to the widow. You know.
Go to the
I don't
casket.
know how to discuss this.
Yes.
Because you're not discussing.
Go to the
you're not having a
casket.
conversation, You're not saying anything right now. You're not making an argument or a point. You just listed all. How do you have this much time to prepare an opening statement? You flub it this badly. Pointed out that the guy who tried to murk Trump was a conservative, and he's like, another lie, and then just moves past it.
Another lie.
Speaker, I can see why this guy sticks to Twitter.
Locked. How do you?
Completely lost
Oh.
all touch with reality.
Yeah, I mean, Anna.
Jack's answer to why can't the president say we should all be less violent?
Right. Because you can't even condemn the cold-blooded.
Because you can't even condemn.
You're in the position to demand anything.
You can't condemn it.
I'm gonna take my.
You're
my
not in any
pointers, but
position
really?
to condemn anybody for anything. You won't.
You can't condemn it.
States. He's the president of the United States. No one here can answer that question.
Basic
Why Donald
humanity
Trump-
says
why
the murder.
Donald Trump
was
Basic
horrific.
humanity.
Why can't you say
All of us need
it?
to be less violent.
Why can't you
Democrats
say
have been
it,
saying
Destiny?
for over a decade.
To
Democrats
say
have been
the
saying it for
murder
over a
was
decade.
horrific and
can't
unacceptable.
Donald-
I'm telling you, man. I said this yesterday. I said this with the behavior of
Contact
AG
head
Aaron
office.
Rodgers, that this
If
is
found.
rhetorical poison
What?
for the right. The right doesn't care about being right. The right cares about feeling like cool and edgy. You're basically trying to pitch cancel culture to them in the other direction.
Ooh.
The right has always loved being the cancelers, but like this is really fucking overt. This is like bitch baby shit, you know? You can't go for a straight decade of being
Bitch
the,
boy
like,
Karen
edgy,
shit.
You know, ne'er-do-wells who are always willing to take the point further and fuck your feelings, and I'll tell you what's right. Don't you try to cry over me. Don't you tell me that you're offended by what I'm saying. And then, like, on a fucking dime, to instantly, oh no, actually, we're on Destiny. We're not mad at you. We're disappointed. Steven, we're very upset with the tone you're taking right now. And I think that you
Very
fail to
upset.
consider the ways in which your words and actions reflect on those around you. Please, take a moment to relax. Think about it. Make
Get
it
over
easy on
here.
your soul.
Donald Trump, say it.
You can't do
why
it,
does
can
no one
you?
hear any words for Donald Trump?
You can't do it, can you?
Nothing exactly.
Anarchist Beren.
You can't do it.
This is what I'm talking about. That I think there is an element of the left, the hard woke left, that have completely lost their minds. If you are not able to just outright
Known extremely woke far left.
Ah.
condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot
What the
stop
fuck?
yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick. As I've just seen from Destiny, it's a sick mindset.
The fuck?
Also, this shit just doesn't work with the broader population, man.
Jesus.
Some
Really?
hardcore, dedicated conservatives who will spend the rest of their lives pretending that they personally loved Charlie Kirk, you know? In reality, it's like Rush Limbaugh. These people don't actually care. Their parasitic ideology just demands loud voices, megaphones, to you know, rebroadcast it. You know, they don't. There's not actually that much of a person.
I didn't lose my
attached. The only
backpack?
one they're really personally attached to is
Part of the
Trump. That's the
colony.
one guy. Apart from that, these are all interchangeable
Ow.
pieces meant to be architects of a ruined world. Like that's
Get
their
off.
responsibility.
Would you kindly
For the
get
majority of
these up?
conservatives, though, I don't think they're going to be.
Why
able to
can't I get off this
get
shit?
that kayfabe of like performative hurt. You know, you want to cry about it forever.
Why am I stuck?
Conservatives are so allergic to this kind of behavior that even after Trump was fully assassinated, well wishes for him were outweighed 10 times to 1.
Why am I stuck in the fucking ground?
Revenge on them for doing this. Like even right after they went after Trump, and by they I mean one like random retarded, you know, slack-jawed Republican kid. They
Oh
were
my
so much
God.
interested in being, you know, strong and cool and violent. This just doesn't work for a lot of them.
There's grief to try to do recruitment for your political party. That's probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. She's showing up in emails for recruitment
What
drives
would
for
you
TP
expect,
USA.
though, Destiny?
24
What did you
I
think
expect
the
for somebody whose
assassination
husband
of a
was just
political
killed? I
figure
would
would
say you'd
do?
probably
What did
take-
you think
you pro-
the outcome was going to be?
I will admit, like, the behavior of Kirk's wife was so ghoulish it surprised even me. Like, it absolutely insane.
Ghoulish.
Body barely cold, and she's posting aura farming videos like it's the trailer sting at the end of a Marvel Marvel movie about how like Turning Point USA 2, the pointing is coming back, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. That's insane. Can you imagine if that
The
happened?
pointing?
Like fucking MLK Jr. dies, and his wife the next day is doing press conferences in front of the Capitol building where she's screaming about civil rights to Electric Boogaloo, and it's going to be more civil and more right than ever before.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
More civil and more
I feel like
right.
normally you take a while to grieve. You
Yeah,
do merch
he's
lines every 48
hilarious.
hours. But again, all of this is a grip to these people. None of them believe in anything.
Doesn't this...
So they probably accurately identified the fact that in 3 weeks, unless they properly stoke the flames, no one would.
Let me see. Did I miss
What did you think the outcome was?
unlock
Really?
thing?
Your behavior. Hold on. Let me. Hey, how about take it easy on the Adderall? Take it easy on the Adderall.
No,
and
this
let me
takes
answer the
me.
question that Pierce asked me.
You must have been really bully today.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump...
Attica Sparian is quite possibly, of every living person on Earth, the least in control of the way she reacts to outside stimuli. We're talking about a person who did maybe the most public and most transparent. People were mean to me on Twitter, and that's why I'm leaving the left. Griff,
God, I hate these scorpions.
Has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior. I agree with you in that.
No, you just do it on everybody who bullies you on Twitter's behavior.
And he hasn't done that. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and bleed out.
Oh, fuck off.
Wasn't she not even in the crowd? A bunch of people were pretending that Charlie Kirk's wife and kids were in the crowd, but weren't they, like, not? It was just a random, like, campaign rally. Not campaign, I guess.
With you. I just don't understand it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred in your heart.
I don't understand you, Destiny. So much hatred in your heart. Why? Why do you have so much hatred in your heart?
By the way, towards Kirk's wife happened only after she started posting weird fucking campaign fundraising videos off of his corpse, okay? If she had just, like, quietly mourned him for weeks, I think most people would have been hands off. I certainly wasn't thinking about her. She wasn't really like a public persona the way that he was. Like, if she was just like, oh, okay, you know, like he was fucking evil, but you know, I don't really gain anything. I don't get anything from attacking her. And then she decided to go, oh, you didn't like my Hitler husband? Here's Hitler too. Which is kind of on her, you know? I don't know. Feel like she's the one who did it.
Is going to be weaponized.
He's the one that did it.
Recruitment and further radicalization of the other side. Then, of course, you not only have the ability to mock it, I think you have the obligation to mock it. It's insane.
Let me understand. Let me understand your argument.
Let me understand.
Are using her grief to political?
No, she did. What?
She's doing it.
She did. She put the videos out. She's doing the thing. What do you
mean?
Recruit. You think that it's okay to mock her specifically?
Since others are using her grief, she's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV where she talked about good versus evil. She's the one showing up in
Destiny,
TPUSA ads to 1 or 2 days after.
If someone assassinated my husband, if someone...
It's the easy... You can tell...
You would fucking...
Anna Kasparian, like, she knows what she's saying isn't true.
You would fucking...
So she tries it like, well, other people...
Parade his fucking body on...
To go after her, and when Destiny points out, of course...
TV?
Like, no, she's the one doing it. Anna Kasparian doesn't acknowledge it. She doesn't, like, work...
I mean, not on TV, but all over social media?
It's so identifiable, man. You deal with these people time and time again. It's why I don't do debates anymore. Because you're not actually having a conversation with a person. You're not actually, like... You don't have, like, a dialectical process where, like, 2 ideas clash and you have to, like, refine it. When they make a bad point, they have to have, like, an element of their broader argument shaved off or refined. They're literally just, like, pitching every excuse in the book at you over and over and over and over and over again. And you can keep bouncing them off, but you're playing tennis with a wall, buddy. You're playing racquetball, you know? They will never, ever... There's no realization to be had here. Like, I think, in a good world, if she was a good faith actor, which she's not, Anna Kasparian would, for a second, pause here and go, oh my god, Why the fuck did I just insinuate that only other people are propagandizing off of Charlie Kirk's death? Why did I just suggest that she wasn't the one doing it? She's obviously one of the people doing it. She's appearing in these videos. She's making speeches. Why did I make that point? Why did I say something so obviously, provably false? But she'll never do that. Nobody will ever do that. There's no point.
Assassinated my husband, I would not be able to have the level of composure she had during that speech.
If somebody, I'm assuming.
Where is this gonna take me?
I don't know the relationship. If somebody assassinated her husband, I have a feeling that 2 days later she would not be posting "Here's Hitler 2" videos to social media. She would not like be immediately working with a comms team to optimize the donation rates that you get for your game. Like,
where the fuck am I?
Got folded into the the monetization structure. It was crazy how quickly they did it. No time to mourn at all. The mourning process for your fucking husband? Like, shouldn't that take a while? Pardon me. You know, listen, okay, pardon me for not being woke enough. I know people grieve in different ways. I just don't think that, like, grifting for a political organization to make people further right is like a innate part of the healing process. I don't think that's like I don't think that's necessarily the way it has to go down. I don't think therapists added a 6th stage of
Jesus.
I would be out for blood. I understand why she's angry and why she said the things that she said. Okay, you need to understand what being a human is, what it's like to actually lose someone that you love, that you chose
Oh
to
my
spend your life
God.
with, that you chose to raise children with.
Fucking pathetic. Every one of them, it's the same argument. Even Pasobi, dude, it's fucking pathetic. Do you think the fat fascist, big fat Papa? No, I'm mixing up deep fat.
Papa Fash,
Whatever
big
the fuck
fat.
this guy's name is. Do you think that he's going to do the same tone? Because this guy's like just an internet Nazi. Do you think he's also going to be like, listen, okay, I know I want the world to be a worse place, but I'm actually like super concerned about your humanity right now, Destiny.
Person who was violently and viciously assassinated like that.
Violently
This is
and
why I've
viciously,
moved away.
as opposed to non-violent and humane assassinations. Violently, viciously, monstrously, aggressively, murderously assassinated.
Murderously.
Identifying as a
Oh, where's my? Oh, there it is.
so embarrassing on the
Think
left.
about how other people act to define your behavior. Your entire political ideology now is somehow defined by the people that were mean to you on Twitter.
No,
if somebody
it's
cares
not.
about somebody who's
No.
grieved,
Yep.
then you tell that
What the
person,
flaws
you
on
tell
the
that
left
person,
happen to
hey,
be.
maybe
The
True.
you should
reasons
step
and
back for a
arguments.
couple of
No,
weeks.
no, it's
Maybe you
not
should
about
take
the
some
way I
time to
get
grieve.
treated.
You don't
I get
say, hey,
treated
let's
like
throw a
crap from
camera
both
at
sides.
Absolutely is.
mass recruitment for our political party while everyone over here is calling for civil war. It's unhinged. When you've got people like Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire, the
we're
president
talking to
of
a
the United States
guy
calling
who
for
said
civil
he'd be
war.
okay with his own parents getting
Don't be too harsh, okay? We're talking about the rhetorical abilities of a person whose brain is being flooded with the hormones of a birthing person, okay? She's operating at a natural handicap. You can't hold it against her.
killed if they went to that Trump rally where that assassination
And we're
attempt
talking
happened.
to a
There's
woman
no
who went
reasoning
on and
with
did
you,
the whole
Destiny.
conservative media
There's no-
outlet with
there's
Tucker
no
Carlson
reasoning
and
with
Glenn
you.
Beck and had
Okay.
nothing bad to say whatsoever. I know where your bread is buttered. I know where
And
you're
it was
making your
great.
money
I
from.
had
Okay, that's
awesome
great.
conversations. I don't regret it
I
at
know,
all.
that's great.
I also had a
Keep up with the
conversation
personal
with Jack
attacks 'cause you're
Posobiec
so
on her
brain
take. It was
broken.
awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Jack,
what
the guy who's gonna get
democracy is about.
funded by
Having
Russia
an
that lies
exchange of
about every other thing that
ideas.
comes out of his
Yeah.
mouth.
She has too many bonus holes. Do you think that's why she got upset by Charlie Kirk's assassination? He had one too many.
Yeah,
All right, let me bring in.
Right.
Let me
I
bring
don't
in.
agree with him on everything, but at
Still
least we
to
can
this
have
day.
dialogue.
Anna, you're completely right, by the way. Anna is completely
Oh
right.
God.
And the irony of Charlie Kirk is that he led
It's a
the
big
way
boy.
in going in to debate with people who hated him, and he would try and have respectful dialogue.
Beat up all college students.
Unlike you, Destiny. Let me bring Andrew Wilson in. Let me bring in Andrew Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You're going on a college tour right now to beat up on college students. What are you talking about, Destiny? That's what you're doing.
You can't come after Destiny for this, man. He argues with literally fucking everyone. He argued with Finkelstein, okay? The idea that he exclusively argues with college students so that he can make a mockery of people
Damn.
without media.
How do I get my
is
aunt down here?
ridiculous. He fucking debates everyone.
I right this second is going on a college tour.
Yep.
Go beat up on college students. By the way, can I just ask you a question?
I don't
Yes or no?
exclusively beat up on college.
Can you actually answer? Can you actually answer? Hang on, calm down. I just got one question.
Please go on Pierce Morgan. We need some good clips. Dog, I don't know what the fuck you're looking at right now that would make you think I would ever want to go on here. This is like watching. I'm like watching the Pain Olympics on stream, and somebody's like, "Have you tried dipping your balls into salicylic acid?" Like, you think that would feel good for you? We'd get some really good content out of that. You know, I maybe you would. Maybe you would. You're gonna have to imagine it.
I got one question for you, and I want you to actually answer it. Are you glad Charlie Kirk is dead?
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in this country has been crazy. But the reality is, until conservatives,
so then why did you say to your co-host that Trump deserved a bullet? Why did you tell him that?
Until conservatives have to say, "Hey, we all need to be less violent," there's no.
What am I supposed to fucking do here?
You further entrench your guys' delusional beliefs that all the violence is.
This looks annoying as fuck for Destiny. Not to like optics frog or whatever the fuck. I actually think shit like this is good because it's really, really, really important to draw more and more attention to the fact that the right is now cancel culture. Unfortunately, it does not matter how powerful you are. It doesn't matter how committed you are. It doesn't matter how fascist or authoritarian you are. What is popular and what is doctrinal now will not be forever. That's human nature. That's the cycle, okay? And much in the same way that there was a big cultural backlash to a decade-long period of like corporatized PC.
There's a lot of candy
right?
bars.
Like, you know, here's your pronoun classes in corporate or whatever. Like, this shit is untenable, okay? 16-year-old boys are not going to go online and be like amped up about the fact that the attorney general is calling for them to be arrested because they're making edgy jokes. Like, it just does not work, okay? I think it's great that attention's being drawn to this. The right as like a broader political movement is very, very, very fractious and polarized outside of their ability to be unified by a person like Trump. But the right punditry are to a
What the hell?
Massive bitches the moment it's expedient.
Massive bitches.
Fuck your feelings and my feelings should
Did you say that? Massive bitches?
Preciously guarded like a injured bird. On a dime, moment's notice. And I think you have to draw attention to that so they can't hide behind the fuck your feelings thing every time it comes around.
Fuck your feelings.
Probably not long from now, one of their guys is going to get one of our guys again. Just like it happened in Minnesota. Maybe higher profile, maybe lower profile. And every single fucking thing these people have said now is going to come back to haunt them, okay? The crows are going to come home to roost. You reap and you sow. All of these people who have been performatively crying, it's going to inflame. Listen,
Can you give me? Yeah, you probably give me from here.
I'm saying that there is a massive people in this country, 100 million strong, who are watching the right get more brazenly hypocritical every single day, and it's making them very angry. That's the reason why the liberal response on social media to Charlie Kirk's assassination has been so blasé. Because it's not just because of Charlie Kirk. It's because every single person who pays attention to the conservative politics in this country is aware of the fact that they are all liars. All of them. They have no real beliefs. They will shamelessly pearl clutch when it happens to them, and then they will work to make it happen to us. And when it happens to us, they will mock and laugh and fake disavow and pretend they had nothing to do with it. And inevitably, it all builds. The rubber band keeps getting pulled. And eventually, enough people for a long enough period of time are going to be sick of these people, and they will never be taken seriously again. Or at least not by enough people for it to matter.
On the left, Donald Trump can go on TV. He can say, "Proud Boys, stand back and stand by." They can go on Parler and say, "We heard you." They can go to the Capitol and break in and try to insurrect. They can get convicted in front of a jury, and then Donald Trump can pardon them, and we can come out and go, "Hey guys, why aren't Democrats disavowing violence?" And pretend that the problem is coming from the left. Democrats do a disservice to this country by disavowing violence constantly when the president of the United States.
I wish state violence was part of the convo about political violence. So the problem with that is that legitimately conservatives are beneath that topic. They're too low IQ for it. Like, literally, if you try to talk to a conservative mind about the way in which state-enforced violence is also political, they will shut down. They actually don't.
Give me this time, bitch.
You might as well try to explain it to a 5-year-old. They can't engage.
Let me respond quickly. Destiny, so the thing is, why did you say to your co-host that the bullet was...
None of them want to talk about ideas. All of them just want to talk about Destiny. Everyone's just here for their 5 minutes of getting a clip on Destiny. Not a single one of them actually wants to discuss the broader ideas here.
Trump, why did you say to your co-host
True.
that the best place for the bullet was Trump? Why did you say that?
Why did Donald Trump call
It's a whataboutism. Whataboutism. I'm asking you a question.
What about it,
It can't be a whataboutism if it's my question, Destiny.
Why won't
That is the time you would do whataboutism, is with your question. That's like that's how you do whataboutism. That's the primary... Okay.
Donald Trump
Answer the question.
All right, why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this before I cut mics?
Because you don't care.
Destiny,
You don't care that Kirk's dead.
Destiny,
Just be honest,
allow
you fuck.
allow Andrew to repeat his question and let him ask the question, then you answer it, okay? Andrew.
It's so cool how all of these people need Pierce Morgan as a handicap when debating Destiny. Like Pierce Morgan needs to keep stepping in and going, okay, please let them finish their point, please.
Now, I want to hear the other side first.
Let him ask the question. Let him ask the question, Destiny, and then you answer it. Andrew.
Destiny told his co-host, when asked point blank, if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it, okay? This guy's an obfuscation.
I watched it.
And you know what else?
How is that obfuscation?
I watched it.
Super direct statement. That's the opposite of obfuscation. That's really straightforward.
Why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated. You've made that very clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your fucking life and say the truth? That you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is. Isn't that really what...
Damn it!
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence. I don't think in the United States of America that should be happening. I don't know why it's so hard for the president to say the same. I think it'd be the easiest thing in the world as a president. Biden did it for 4 years. That's why everything was way cooler when he was here. Like
projection? It's 100% projection because every person here except for Destiny, like, personally enjoys death for their political enemies. Like, I've made this point, and, you know, the right will always say it's a dog whistle because they're, like, not capable of understanding this, you know. Charlie Kirk was evil, and his not being alive anymore, he can no longer spread evil. And I think that him no longer spreading evil is great. But I do not like vigilantism as a system of meting out those responses cosmically, you know? Like, I do not... Look, if you want to accuse me of supporting political violence, I still think Merrick Garland should have fucking annihilated the entire right after January 6th. That's political violence. So was January 6th. They're both political. I don't think it's any less violent because you're doing it through, like, marshals and warrants and stuff. You're just doing it in a more legalistic way, but you're still doing political violence. If you want to accuse me, that's far fucking more devastating to the right as a political institution than anything that could have happened just to Charlie Kirk. I don't like vigilantism. It's insane. It's dangerous. This country is getting worse every day, and the right is there turning up the temperature constantly. The right's, it's like the right's like turning a microwave on, and every time a red-colored popcorn kernel pops, they're like, "Oh, how could the left do this?" And then every time,
how did they do this?
Yes, yes, we disavow. Like, buddy, you're the one with your finger on the button.
In terms of temperature, the Clintons have no problem saying it. Barack Obama has no problem saying it. Kamala Harris has come out and said it. Every Democratic lawmaker and leader has basically come out and said it. But for some reason on the Republican side, it's just civil war, civil war, civil war. And the Republican president of the United States, who has presided over more violence politically in this country, more large protests than any president in all of U.S. history, for some reason can't bring...
How do I unlock this shit?
So did Trump deserve the bullet? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
No interest in discussing ideas. Small brain. Who was the person who said, like, small minds discuss people, medium minds discuss events, whatever? No interest in discussing ideas. Everyone here is just getting their opportunity to ask Destiny, like, hey, well, you know, I think you're bad, so why don't you, like, condemn it? Lay open the cloisters of your heart, Destiny. I'm really interested in you particularly, and not, like, the broader conversation we're having.
I care about it. Are the political hit jobs?
Just answer the question, bro. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Donald Trump...
Isn't this the guy who couldn't open the jar? Yes! This is the guy who couldn't open the jar. Thank you.
What?
And they say he's still compensating.
Deserve the bullet
on his side ever. Did Donald Trump
answer the question? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Get up where? How do I get up there?
Bro, it's my turn to ask the question. It's your turn to answer. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's
Answer my
disavowed
question, I'll
violence.
answer you.
But again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
Did Donald Trump?
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Okay, except you did to your co-host.
No, I didn't. Oh, wait. When did Donald Trump?
I didn't see shit.
Wait. When did Donald Trump
your
disavow
exact
violence in
words
this
to your
country?
co-host, you lying sack of shit. If he wanted
I'm the lying
to kill
sack of
Trump,
shit?
the
No
worst
way.
thing that could have happened
Donald Trump
was the
disavowed
bullet
all
missing.
political violence. And
That's what you said.
And this is
bro.
yeah. And this is right. When you're putting YouTubers and tweeters.
I don't understand what the point is of having a Piers Morgan debate panel with Destiny on it, when every single person here, if they wanted to just get a clip out of Destiny, could just talk to Destiny on Destiny's stream. Like, this is a 4v1, and everyone's just lining up for their opportunity to effectively do what they could have done by emailing him and setting up a conversation 2 days later, you know? What's the point? Like, aren't we, it's a panel, like, what the fuck is the point? It's a panel to talk about a topic.
The same level as the president of the United States. This is why conservatives are absolutely brain broken when it comes to violence in this country. And that's why I don't continue.
But Destiny,
there'll be more deaths.
Destiny,
Maybe it'll be me at the next one. Who knows? There'll be
Destiny.
You guys are all going to turn around and be like, I can't
Piers Morgan stepping in to bail out his limp-wristed boy.
believe it. What's going on? What's happening here?
Okay, Destiny, if you care so much about political violence in America, why don't you lead the way yourself without mentioning anybody else? Why don't you, Destiny, right now just outright condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because we've been doing that for a decade. One side can't turn down the temperature.
You can't do it.
Can't turn down the temperature. If Donald Trump can't, then the left shouldn't until he does.
Got it. Okay, you don't want to do it.
Need accountability for their actions. They need to responsibility for the insane
even though you take none yourself. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec.
Absolutely,
that's enough, Destiny. I'll bring in Jack Posobiec. Jack.
Okay, a genuine question. Of the 4 people here, has one of them ever discussed an idea? I'm actually, it's insane. Keep in mind, you would think that the point of this panel is like, let's interrogate Destiny on his personal positions. Destiny only came in halfway through the panel. The panel was supposed to be about the assassination broadly, but as soon as Destiny came on, everyone's willingness to talk about broader ideas shut down. I bet you they were willing to do it with Cornel West. The moment Destiny comes on, they're like, hold on, we don't want to discuss ideas with this guy. That sounds dangerous, you know? Let's all pretend we're really offended.
Jack.
Yeah.
What is your response to this?
Well, I mean, I personally think that he's sold, and it's like really bad. I took a look at everything in this conversation. I listened to what the words that he was saying, and I don't think that he's like a person like me and you.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, this type of ideology where you've got someone who's willing to mock Erica, who's been standing strong for her family, for her children, who's just, she will never be
virtue signaling.
Charlie. She will never be able to be with
Oh my God.
Them? You know something we don't?
For children, to have grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them, it's all gone. Every single moment of that future that they had was gone.
Oh shit, Sherlock.
Charlie Kirk that said, "Hey, fascist, catch."
Just never forget that these are the people who are still talking about George Floyd. Like, God, I can't believe this is what I mean, man. The 16-year-olds who are going to be tomorrow's like political canvassers are not going to resonate with this shit, man. It's fucking pathetic.
And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the bullet
say,
that was fired. How are you lying about this?
Shut up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut up.
Shut up, Destiny. Shut up. Shut up.
Dude. Oh my God. You're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting piece of shit.
Yeah, anyway, I just think it's sickening, and I've always been really taken aback by
Shut up, Destiny. Shut up.
Holy fuck.
What a pedantic
Are we
What a
even going to do
Pedantic.
this?
This guy's a fucking professional
It's total
lawyer.
pedantry. It's total pedantry.
This guy probably
I would like to let Jack finish his point.
Really, Piers Morgan? That's what a strange departure for you. You want someone other than Destiny to have the floor cleared for them. Gotcha.
Please.
Yeah,
and they'll claim there's no leftist connection. They'll claim there's no and then go so far as to lie and say there's some kind of Christian conservative connection when you could
His family, dipshit. His family's fucking Christian conservative, dipshit. They voted for Trump, dipshit.
It should be very, very clear. Are we connected?
His fucking family is the connection.
Some people are willing to do that. Anna's been willing to do that. We've done shows together. They've been fine.
Oh my god.
Jousted. We've gone back and forth. Destin and I in the past have had shows together where before he kind of took this turn, and you think there are people who can just be willing to stand up for humanity.
Jack, it reminds me.
Stand up for humanity.
I've gone on very different circumstances, but the Israel-Hamas war. The reason I asked
These people are such fucking pussies.
For months after the war started, do you
Jesus Christ.
Is I think it was very enlightening.
Hamas.
Oh yeah, dude. That's true. That was such a high IQ talking point. Thank you, Pierce Morgan. You basically invented that. That's what I came up with the idea of asking people if they condemn Hamas, and it was like a really revealing talking point. It really got to the depth of the issue. It wasn't a fucking waste of time at all.
Of the person by how they responded. If their immediate response was, "Of course I do," the mass murder of civilians
Can I
was a horrendous atrocity, then we can move
get
on
this
to an
motherfucker to
honest debate.
I can't believe they're legit woke scolding right now. Yeah, remember, woke scolding has always been an affect, not an actual political position. There's nothing innately that makes the left more scoldy, and there's
Jesus,
nothing
Captain Turbo, let's go.
It's always just been a shift in who has power and how they use that power.
If they refuse to condemn what Hamas did, it's a completely different debate. And similarly, right now, I feel if you can't condemn a lot of what the IDF are doing, frankly, it's my opinion, in Gaza, then the same thing. If you're unequivocally like it's all fine with 20,000 plus kids being killed, then I've got a problem with that too. But I do think you've got to
get fucked.
Maintain in all of these debates.
I think Destiny could reasonably argue that Charlie Kirk was a Hamas insurgent who was surgically taken out by precise IDF strikes, the most moral army.
What the fuck do I get up there?
I think you could run that line. You might have to.
A modicum of humanity about people who are
Great.
actually being killed. And what is terrifying about the mindset of a lot of people on the woke left have seen since Charlie Kirk's death is the brazen glee that they're taking.
Brazen glee.
When I see even Destiny, who's a very well-followed person on the internet, well-known, when Destiny, frankly, if you can't bring yourself just to say the murder was horrific and should never have happened, it's a very simple sentence. It's just basic.
Murder is horrific. It should have never have happened.
I do appreciate
Jesus.
Morgan, just explicitly pointing out and reaffirming and basically confirming the fact that do you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk is just the new do you condemn Hamas, a low IQ virtue signal bait designed to distract conversation and not actually answer anything, like a performative waste of time before we talk about anything meaningful.
Everything is going because it's indicative of the mindset of I can't give an inch to my political opponents, therefore I lose my humanity. How can that be right?
Because you can't give an inch to political opponents that won't recognize or acknowledge anything they've done is wrong. It's all it's done is gotten us here. This is where we're at because of that exact mindset. Will any of the conservatives here acknowledge the conservative that murdered Melissa Hortman and her husband and shot the other senator in Minnesota?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just about all political violence.
That it was a conservative shooter?
I don't know the details on that particular case. If I
Oh my god. Incredible. Even this isn't equivocal, right? Because the right has no issues with disavowing performatively while giving you a fucking grin. They are comfortable lying about this.
Where the fuck? How the fuck do I get up here?
The former Minnesota head of legislature was assassinated. It is a fact that the right was gleeful about it, or at the very least dismissive, and the left in no way responded to this with a turning up of violence. Even like the woke, edgy leftists were not responding to the Hortman assassination with like, oh, we're gonna go out there and get them this time. It was more just
we're gonna go get them.
Entering a new era of open political assassination, you know? There's just no comparing to the gleeful, malevolent bloodlust of the right. It's just not replicable. It's the same reason why every time a shooter you'd think would end up being left-leaning, like a violent person targets a conservative or Trump even, it turns out they're also Republican. Conservatism is just a violent ideology. They want blood, and their media apparatus, their politicians, they all reaffirm that.
It did, and it turned out that it was the case. Of course, I would say that such violence should be disavowed. Thing is, you can't hold your entire moral standard based on what you think Trump is doing or not doing. What does that have to do with you, Destiny? It has nothing to do with you. You can easily just say, you can lead by example and say, let's all tone down the violence. That's what you want, right?
President of the United States. That's what Democrats have been doing.
Wait, you can't lead by example because you're not the president? That's the stupidest thing I've heard today.
If one side wants to fight, and the other
this is what they want, man. They want to browbeat you forever. You must always be the ones to lay down your weapons. You must always be the ones to show weakness. It doesn't matter how violent they are. All of their media, all their politicians raise their guns. A civil war, escalate constantly, call for blood, call for violence. They're always going to turn up the temperature. But then they point at you and they're like, well, okay, so you think you're better than us? Why don't you turn down the temperature then? Lay down your guns, see how that goes. You know? It is insane.
Get up here.
The Destiny's pushing back against it, or I guess like attention is being drawn to the hypocrisy here. I'm glad that more and more liberals, not just lefties, but liberals see what the right is doing and understand that like the end game here is mass death. Republicans, like the Republicans in charge are doing this largely for the grift, but the political project that is being built, the inertia that is being contributed to, the direction the train is moving in is towards camps. That is the only logical conclusion of the political path the right has taken. There is no way to square that circle otherwise. There is no moderate off-ramp. There is no turn here where things turn into like a mildly repressive civic nationalist country or whatever. We know exactly what they want. We know exactly what they're doing. The fact that the people in power now are grifting doesn't mean the people who are next in power aren't going to take
God, I need to get out of here.
Grifting doesn't mean they can't do enormous harm. Plenty of genuinely violent despotic leaders like Pinochet were also in many ways grifters.
I have no idea how to get the fuck out of here.
The sincerity and the harm caused are not like concurrent forces.
Side doesn't, then you're going to fight. One side can't decide not to fight, but the other side
makes no sense. What does that have
What do you mean it makes no sense? If some guy comes up to you to fight, and the other side says, I don't want to, you don't really have the choice there.
Lead by example, then. Lead by example.
You can't lead by example. That's called dying.
You can.
Actually, I actually thought. Let me jump in.
Because you're actually happy.
Let me jump in here.
Let me guess. You're going to jump in and give weight to this guy's arguments?
I actually felt that Anna hit the nail on the head here, which is she did not need to wait for Donald Trump to comment on this to make her own mind up about what had happened. That is intellectual honesty, right? Yes, it may have been somebody that she totally disagreed with on many issues. The simple, humane thing to do with any event like this is to ask yourself, how do I personally feel about it? Not what does Donald Trump think about it, or what does Joe Biden...
What? Oh, no, you don't get it. For, like, high-profile political events, this is the best possible time to introspect. You shouldn't be asking stupid questions like, what does the ruling party of the United States feel, like, how do they feel about this? What are they doing about it? Now, who cares what the president, the mainstream media, and all three branches of the federal government are doing,
Interesting.
etc. What we need to be asking ourselves is, how bad do you feel about Hitler dying? How much does that make you sad? Did you know he was a vegetarian?
Think about it, or what does Timbuktu think about it? It's what
Timbuktu.
Timbuktu is a place, you fucking retard. Keep our cities out of your goddamn mouth, you Britbomber shit.
Personally feel about this. It didn't take me very long, Destiny, to understand that I felt repulsed by the execution of somebody in cold blood with his wife and 2 young children there watching. It's a human reaction. I don't need to know what Donald Trump thinks about it at all.
Why is he underground?
I understand why you need to wait for him.
This is like insane. This is like the ultimate. This is like the final fucking argument. This is like the one at the end of the road, right? Nothing matters except what we tell you you should feel. You can ignore all empirical reality. It does not matter.
There you are.
Before your own humanity
I don't need to wait
kicks
for
in.
anybody. No, you're not asking how we feel about it. You're asking what the public statements should be.
Why are they concerned with what Destiny thinks about it? They're not. They're liars. What they're concerned about is him normalizing mockery of Hitler. They don't like it. They don't like the fact that he's contributing to the mockery of a person who deserves mockery. But rather than argue with him on the merits of that position, which they would spectacularly lose on, they're instead going to pretend they're all really concerned about the state of his soul. That's it. It's dishonest, and they're all playing exactly the same game. Almost like they agreed upon it beforehand. I don't really think they did, though. I just think conservatives will do anything to avoid an argument, and this is just the easiest way to get out of it. They probably just copied each other, you know? I doubt any of them really has a plan.
The public statements should be the President of the United States.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
You're
I'm
asking
not.
me for a public statement
I'm
right
asking,
now.
where is your humanity? You can't
Your
just
heart,
say
your soul.
the
You're
murder
beating
was
soul,
wrong.
Steven.
You guys are
Your
playing
heart.
into this exact
Your
thing, and you probably know
heart.
it. I think Cornell was right about this. You know where your bread is buttered as well. You guys play into this. It's insane to me that the President of the United States can't say, hey, all of us need to be less violent. We all need to calm the fuck down. That the President of the United States can't say this, but you will endlessly scour Twitter and YouTube for leftists to bring on and say, don't you guys disavow the violence? It's absolutely absurd to me.
You know, Cornel West should have stayed in his seat. We were debating free speech, actually, and whether
You were debating ideas? I wonder what that's like. Sorry, I came in here after Destiny joined. I thought this was a fucking personal intervention for him. I thought we were all sitting in chairs around a fireplace in a community rec room or something.
Debating free speech.
And whether,
is not
well, let
even
me
an equivalent
finish.
conversation.
Let me finish. And whether the overuse of words like Hitler, Nazis, and fascists,
I would never do that, by the way.
it's actually empowering deranged young minds to think they were battling actual new Hitler, Nazis, and fascists. And actually, when Andrew pointed out to Cornell,
like, look, it's so not. They're so transparently dishonest when they say it's about Destiny's heart and soul.
So transparently dishonest.
To whitewash Charlie Kirk. They don't want you to mock him. They don't want you to think ill of him. People have been fired from their jobs for quoting Charlie Kirk. Somebody was fired from the fucking military. They were discharged. All they posted was a quote of Charlie Kirk's. That's where we're at. They want to whitewash him so badly, you can't even rely on his version of his legacy.
He had used the phrase neo-fascist about Trump. That's when Cornell decided he couldn't take part in the debate anymore, when he was reminded of something he had said. He didn't try and deny it. He just said, I don't want to have this debate, and left.
Piers, how long have you been in the United States, like following our politics?
Over 20 years, I've lived and worked in America.
Okay, if you've lived and worked in America, I grew up as a conservative, listening to Rush Limbaugh and to Glenn Beck and to Billy Cunningham and to Sean Hannity. You're going to sit here and pretend like Democrats are the ones that started the name calling? I heard them call Obama.
They will pretend that, yeah. This, like, again, you can't ask rhetorical questions with these fucking ghouls because they will pretend that. they will have grown up. They will have lived in America in like 2011, and they'll be like, yeah, Democrats were like basically just as bad as Republicans back then. Like, they're just, they do not give a fuck. They don't give a shit about reality.
Nope.
I didn't say that. When did I say that?
I'm just saying, why are we pretending that some people...
I'm saying, why did Cornel West
household?
Why would Cornel West walk out on a debate when we're literally talking about the importance of speech? Makes no sense to me.
If speech is important, then the president should exercise it more cautiously.
So should you.
Republicans have been... You can't stop
You've got millions of followers, and you think it's fine to show them you're mocking a widow.
You cannot choose for your opponent not to fight you.
Fine.
If Republicans won't turn down the rhetoric, then fine. Then who cares? Donald Trump shouldn't have used the rhetoric that led her to be killed. 2 days before she died,
cares that you mocked a grieving widow?
This is all, it's just virtue signaling. You guys are excited about it. You guys love it.
How is it that you said this guy can't possibly be a leftist?
It's exciting to you. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
No,
how is it that you say this guy can't be a leftist because he grew up in a white Christian household when you grew up in a white Christian household by your own admission just now and you're fucking...
And he's not a leftist, so it all tracks.
leftist, Destiny.
I'm
Can you explain that
36
to me?
years old. This guy was 22 and he lived at
What
home
does that have to do
basically
with
his entire
anything?
life.
What does that have to do with
Because
anything?
I've had 20 years to separate myself from my parents' ideology.
People will watch this and then email me and ask why you don't do debates anymore, man. It's fucking crazy. I do not have the listen. This is not me like smugly wiping my hands of something I feel that I'm better than. I'll just freely admit Destiny is a far better character, way better suited for this. He can do this and I cannot. It's that simple. I'm not going to pretend. No, so I'm only interested in discussions of a caliber higher than that which Pierce Moore can provide. No, I would just have an aneurysm and die. I don't want to be in the mud. Yeah, I don't want to be in the mud.
I didn't live with them still. Jesus.
So 6 months, 1 year, 20 years? Why does it matter how long it took?
Vaush does look uncomfortable outside his room. Okay, listen, I'll accept that criticism normally, but not when I'm being implicitly compared to Destiny, okay? In that respect, live streamer solidarity. I do not want to hear that shit framed as though it's a comparative statement.
To separate, you just got to say it was impossible, and you yourself are a leftist who grew up in a Christian conservative household, dude. You're the worst hypocrite I've ever seen.
Hold on,
you're the worst
sorry.
hypocrite.
You think that a 22-year-old has as much time to separate himself from the ideology that he grew up with as a 36-year-old?
Didn't say
yeah,
it.
you just made
it's
the comparison, dipshit.
Pedantic.
It's not
pedantic and fake. Fake and gay. Fake and gay.
Stupid point.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in. Let me ask Jack.
Asking Jack a question. Oh, are you going to like probe his opinions on something, or are you going to set him up for a question to Destiny?
Jack, you know the Kirk family well. You've been around the Kirk family, I think, since this is appalling murder has happened. When you hear Destiny saying, "Who cares about the fact?"
Listen, okay, everyone. I think this conversation is centered a little bit too much over feelings, pearl clutching, and performative virtue signaling. Jack Posobiec, do you cry when you hear Destiny talk? As somebody who's known Charlie Kirk and his wife, will you cry after this? How bad does it make you feel? Mr. Posobiec, are you cutting at this moment? We can't see your wrists. How do you feel? Lay bare the contents of your soul.
That he openly, publicly mocked Erica Kirk.
Can you imagine conservatives talking this way? Okay, just imagine this tone of conversation being had even about Melissa Hordman. Like, even in a comparative situation, man. Imagine this happening about anyone. Imagine this happening about George Floyd. This would be so fucking insanely derided, like worthy of mockery to the right. They would not give a shit at all. This would be like laughable, it'd be comedy. Hey, as someone who has black friends, person who isn't Posobiec, how does it make you feel when the conservative that we have on this program says that he, quote, doesn't care or, quote, finds it funny that George Floyd died? It would be a joke to them. They do not give a shit.
A grieving widow within literally a day or two of her husband being murdered. How does that make you feel as a friend of the family?
Like H2O.
And Floyd was a fent dealer. Charlie Kirk could have been dealing fent at the university, and he would have done less damage to his audience than he was in real life.
It's
heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Here's, you know, and here's the thing is she's seeing all of it. She's going to see all of it. Her kids are going to watch this video one day.
My heart
that's
weeps.
Sort of the nature of reality now. They will.
This video specifically, they're like 5 or something. This video? Why would they do that?
Will see all of this, and they will see the reaction. And I just hope that those of us who knew Charlie, worked with Charlie, who knew Charlie beyond the, you know, TikToks and short videos, can also be there for those kids as they grow up, to let them know who their dad was.
And kids are going to grow up and watch old episodes of Piers Morgan uncensored. How performative is this? Is everybody here? Did we all get like a script before the show? What?
They watch a lot of old episodes of the JFK.
You make the left look so bad, and you don't even realize it. You are seriously so embarrassed.
So again, like just everyone left of Destiny here. I mean that in terms of the orientation of the panel, not in terms of political positions. Looks like a giant bleeding pussy to me.
Are you kidding me?
Like such fucking vaginas. I can't stand it. It's actually insufferable. It's not even about Charlie Kirk. Like, I would have so much more respect for them if they would just argue from the position they believe in, which is that Charlie Kirk was evil and they like evil. Like, okay, fucking talk about it, I guess. But like, this shit, this is insufferable. Completely. Again, dozens of conversational pitches. Not one of them has been about an idea.
Embarrassing.
Okay, yeah.
God.
You can talk to your best friend.
You really
Glenn
are.
Beck about
I mean,
it
like,
later, you know, and have
do you
another
feel?
30-minute conversation about it, Anna.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will talk to Glenn Beck about it. Oh, is that is that naughty? Is it
How
naughty?
many conversations have you had with Nick? You've had more conversations with Nick than anyone.
So
Kasparian doing the like, oh, are you offended by me talking to Glenn Beck when she is very, very visibly offended by Charlie Kirk talking about Charlie Kirk right now? Or Destiny talking about Charlie Kirk right now?
mean. Oh no, not the meanies on Twitter.
How many more lawsuits are you going to face from women that you allegedly secretly recorded during intimate moments, Destiny? I can't believe anyone takes you seriously.
Are you really?
You're disgusting. You're embarrassing, and you should be shunned from public life with your disgusting treatment
She's
of
ulting?
all sorts of people, including young.
She's ulting? I'm familiar with this one. This is the one where when you lose the argument, you crank the big like lever next to you, which is like the allegations. It's a gigantic. It's like the two keys that you turn after flipping up the glass boxes, and then you hit the big red button labeled the allegations.
Left-wing girls, women
You're turning
that you
more
victimize
blonde right now
allegedly.
in the window. You're
that's who
you're
you
like
are.
2 shades away from being
You're
a Fox News host,
embarrassing.
Anna.
You
Keep
embarrass
going.
the left. You're the type of person who pushes people away from the left.
You're so close,
Make
Anna.
sure you understand that.
Rocks.
You're embarrassing. There's no morality with you. There's no grounding
Absolutely
values.
not.
There's no
Of course
principles.
not, yeah.
All you want is attention, 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 attention. That's all you
Absolutely,
want.
yeah, of course.
All
Well,
you
and
want.
Jen talk about
Endless
how
attention.
9/11 was
Say
caused by the
disgusting,
Jews, and you have
provocative
another
garbage.
friendly conversation with another.
Oh yeah, hasn't Kasparian been on like a weird dancing Israelis arc lately? Are they trying to do like are they doing like Candace Owens thing a little bit where they're like so anti-Israel, they're like, well, we're not with the left, so the best anti-Israel not the left audience is Nazis?
Yeah.
Mainstream conservative commented about how you're such a leftist, but those people on Twitter are so mean.
Having a debate or dialogue doesn't automatically mean that you agree with everything they have to say. It means you're coming
No, it's
together
when you sit down and you're
exchanging
exchanging
ideas and
then you agree
debating
with everything they have to
them.
say.
Holy shit, she actually has posted about the dancing Israelis. I'm old enough to remember the dancing Israelis who happened to be Mossad agents filming and celebrating as the planes hit the World Trade Towers. Fox News, of all people, covered at the time. Oh my god. Remember when we spent like a year arguing whether or not they were grifting to the right? That's crazy. It's crazy how I've never been wrong when I point this out about somebody. It just keeps happening. Are there any leftists left? H-Bomb puts out like one good video a year, right? That's cool.
No, I don't agree with everything they have to say. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you do.
I don't
Of course
agree with
you do. What
everything
do you
they have
mean?
to say. But you know, I'm
When
an
you
adult.
sit down and all
I can
of your
sit down and have a
criticisms are
mature
for the
debate or
You and Hassan. Does Hassan think Israel did 9/11? Probably not.
And you have no
conversation.
disagreements about anything on the right? Yeah, that's called
I do have
agreement, is usually what
criticisms
we
for the
call it.
left. I have tons of criticisms for the right. Tons of criticisms. I'm obviously
they don't seem to come out
pro-choice,
much
for
when you're
instance.
talking to
I
your
obviously have a
conservative
huge
friends. Oh, the big
problem
ones, yeah.
with the unending, unmitigated support for Israel, regardless of the genocide they're engaging in. I have all sorts of disagreements with the right. That doesn't mean I'm going to dehumanize them and cheer on the slaughter of my fellow Americans.
Slaughter.
Politics. You're
I wish
embarrassing.
anybody here had the same energy for the President of the United States, but that's good. I'm glad you guys are focused where it really counts on Twitter and
Dude,
YouTube.
you have
Because the
like
conservatives want to be
TDS,
focused
like
on, you know?
you are like the prototype of
TDS, yeah,
TDS.
there it
It's
comes, yeah.
unbelievable.
The
You
TDS,
wake up every
yes.
morning and you decide your
Yes,
behavior is going to
true.
hinge on Trump.
How far do you need to fall to be a host of the Young Turks to whining about not making as much money as Hassan? Flash forward 2 years later, and you are accusing someone of having Trump derangement syndrome for saying that Trump should condemn political violence. That's crazy. What Hassan does to a motherfucker. Maybe Destiny is right. Maybe like Hassan is the worst thing to ever happen to online politics because he's oriented. He's like the fulcrum around which everything. Like he's shifted TYT to the right out of jealousy. Maybe he pushed Destiny to the right as well because of like their personal beef. I don't know. If there was no Hassan, he could just be like an Insta model. I would have twice as many viewers, and then I would grip to the right just to square that circle.
Mhm.
Oh, you think I wouldn't too? Oh, in an instant. I'd do it through Ukraine too. You'd hate to see it. You'd hate to see it. I'd be like, no, I think NATO did it, and then a year later I'd be talking about how Putin is the only one withholding the onslaught of Western degeneracy, keeping it west.
more
Who
about
are
the
you as
dancing
an individual?
Israelis and
God,
building
have a little
7
bit
and
of
how the
humanity.
Jews all knew about 9/11
You're a
and they all want us to go to war in the
You're a
Middle East. Yeah, of course.
sociopath.
Let me
I
bring
never
in-
once said the
Okay.
Jews
Let me
were
bring in
behind
Jack
9/11.
again.
Not
Let me-
once. Don't make things up, you disgusting prick.
Let me
That's
bring
okay,
in
don't
Jack again. Let me bring in Jack again. Jack, Peter Navarro earlier was talking about directly to Elon Musk about, in his view, the urgent need for Elon Musk to detoxify X, given that he owns the platform, and that he blamed X for a lot of the toxicity in public discourse. What do you feel?
We need less toxicity, and we need to remove the blue check financing system to de-Indianify it a little bit. 90% of the far right accounts are Indian. We need to fix this shit. Okay, you cannot make a living wage in America running a right-wing grift account. You can in India. We need to do something about this. Okay, we're getting demographically replaced. Our right-wing pundits are getting demographically replaced. Okay, and I as a pro-white leftist, I'm the only one speaking out about this.
About that?
Well, you know, I think there's obviously a tension between
brain broken.
free dialogue and freedom of speech, but also maintaining a line beyond calling for violence and calling for direct violence or direct criminal activity. So
you've been bitching for an hour about Destiny making fun of Kirk and Kirk's wife. Like, this is not about incitement to violence or death threats. This is about fucking pearl clutching.
Yep.
X in its original Twitter fashion, if you go all the way back to 2012, 2010, when it was really getting going, they used to pretty much the main things that were banned or would get taken down or get accounts banned were posting of direct addresses of people, so doxing, or posting direct threats to violence. And so I think there needs to be that line set.
No. Also, people used to be banned for being neo-Nazis. It's crazy to think about, but like nowadays on Twitter, you can just post the N slur, K slur, whatever. People are just open neo-Nazis, and they're everywhere, and there's no pushback. It used to be people got banned for that, which is crazy to think about today, but yeah, that did used to happen.
This is acceptable discourse. This is a back and forth, but the idea that a direct call for violence should be banned, I think that's something that I would support.
Andrew, what do you feel about the social media?
This shit is already fucking banned.
Like 30% of the users of Twitter, because like overwhelmingly, what you see from the left after Charlie Kirk is people being blasé about Charlie Kirk's death. You know, Hitler dead, etc. Right? But look at the comment replies under any post by Ilhan Omar. Okay, the right is fucking psychotic. They're like feral animals. It's insane. It's like any time the fucking eye of like right-wing scrutiny gets drawn to a left-leaning figure or a woman or a queer person or whatever, the number of like death and rape threats they get and people DMing them racial slurs and shit and gore and everything, it is unbelievable, and it vastly exceeds anything the left does. It's because the right is bloodthirsty. You could never make the left as bloodthirsty as the right. The right ideologically, from the ground up, is built on in-groups and out-groups and the justifications of violence from one to the other. You know? The left is not. It's just not, fundamentally. A lot of people on the left, you know, they post about, like, eating landlords or whatever, but it's the most... If you think we should...
Eating landlords.
An actual call to
Eat the
violence,
landlords.
completely cooked. If you think there's any actual... Who the fuck... What are we talking about here? You seriously think there's some kind of insurgent movement of these, like, anxiety-ridden, SSRI-taking college leftists to fucking go to their real estate managers building in the city and do a shooting or whatever? This shit isn't happening. It's not real. It's fake. It's just performative internet bullshit. But the waves and waves of violence and targeting of minorities that you see on Twitter from the right are very real and seen in real life and reinforced in real life behavior. Checking my watch to see if the daily school shooting caused by a, you know, white boy neo-Nazi has taken place yet, or if we have to wait till like later in the day.
Perspective of all this, do you think that it is culpable to a degree in the surging toxicity of debate about these things?
Look, social media is a tool, and what social media has done right now is it's allowed us to get a glimpse into leftist ideology, finally. Yeah. And we get to see the insane madness that was always there. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, here on the panel right this second, you have a guy who celebrated a multitude of these types of things, including telling his co-host that that basically Trump, the worst place that the assassin could have put the bullet was anywhere other than Trump. I mean, I got the clip of him doing it. And so the thing is like what we've noted now, these people are glad. They're glad. They're happy. They love it. I go on TikTok all the time and I debate with these people. It's very clear that leftists are glad that this happened.
I think the right pundits are as well, because these people believe in nothing, and to them it's all a grift, and this is just another thing for them to get high view counts over. I think that, like, to a lot of these right-wing pundits, these fucking ghouls, like, some of them are maybe worried about their own safety, but I think overwhelmingly they're like, nothing really ever happens. I'm just here to make my fucking money, dog. Let's go. Let's get, like, we're gonna get, like, 21 million plus view videos out of this or something. And to them, it's just like, oh yeah, like TPUSA and Charlie Kirk's wife, like, the nanosecond Charlie dies, TPUSA's money guy goes up to her and is like, yeah, we can, like, totally make bank off this. Let's go. Even though she's already a millionaire. It's crazy.
And that they're going to do everything they can to promote more of it. And we're supposed to base our behavior on what the president does or doesn't say. What, like, if Biden, if I had Biden derangement syndrome, I couldn't still come out and condemn political violence? Of course I could. But the thing is
I'm just curious, anybody have any words for the fact that Charlie Kirk said that Biden should have been executed?
Leftists collectively can't seem to do that.
So I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of your polluted soul. You shouldn't have positions on things, Destiny. Steven, you should be concerned about, like, whether you're
How the fuck do I get up there?
The fact that you're even mad about what a dead guy said, chill out, bro.
That though, I don't know why they can't seem to do that.
No, that was fine when Charlie Kirk said that. Okay,
Anna, I want to mention something to you, which
completely
or transmitters.
Nope, that's not what this is about, man. This is an intervention. Quit trying to distract from this.
I'm going to talk to Cornel West.
Charlie Kirk was a moderate. He was more moderate than a local electrician.
Yeah, nice pivot.
He was more moderate than a local electrician, and you know that. By the way,
he said he wanted to see Biden. He said he wanted to see Biden.
This is Nazi cope, by the way. Charlie Kirk was a Nazi. He was insanely far right. It's just that Nazi lolicon, Strasserite, you know, posting Sonengrad, little dark age edit types like to pretend that he was just like the middle ground and now we're the solution or whatever. It's just another way of farming view counts for them. Oh, Charlie Kirk, a guy who believed everything that we believe except he supported Israel, is gone. Now it's time for us, guys who believe everything Charlie Kirk believed, but we're much less politically effective, much less rhetorically proficient, and we don't like Israel. But we're not going to do anything about it because that would alienate us from the broader right. So we're going to be quiet about that. Okay.
With the worst, and
he wanted to see Biden executed. Okay, give me a fucking break.
That's not what he said.
Any of this
that's not what he said. He said if you violate criminality and criminal laws, then that will be the case.
I want to ask Anna.
There's not what's performative. What's performative?
So I say, oh well, you know, I think that guy was a criminal. Therefore, the execution is okay. Somehow that makes everything fine with no investigation, no criminal charges.
Yeah, I think Charlie Kirk was a traitor to the United States. I think he aided and abetted rhetorically in January 6th, which was an insurrection. I think that effectively, like, he was a propagandist for an enemy line, comparable to like a Confederate propagandist.
Where
so,
are
actually,
they?
Like, everything that happened after the fact was just sort of like, you know, divine law.
Or transmitter?
That your political opponent should be in jail.
Yeah, he did bust people in.
Is that just the last
one? He wasn't just like rhetorically in favor of Jan 6. He was also like there.
Performative.
Highest extent of the law. You say it all the time. What are you talking about?
Sorry, no, that's Donald
saying the word performative doesn't mean anything.
The National Guard right now.
Oh, it's just performative.
Investigations into every
that's just performative.
I want to bring Anna back in. I want to bring Anna back in. Okay, I want to bring Anna back in because the president-elect of the Oxford Union, probably the most premier debating society in the world. I've done it several times myself. Right. George Aberonye reportedly posted several. He didn't reportedly. He did post several comments in a WhatsApp group, appearing to celebrate the murder of Charlie Kirk. One said, "Charlie Kirk got shot. Let's fucking go." Another one was, I think, LOL.
Let's fucking go.
This guy is going to be the president of the Oxford Union Debating Society, and yet he is celebrating the murder of some.
Who fucking care? Oh my god! These whiny, cancel culture, woke scold, pearl clutching bitches. Let's run through every guy in the world. How do you feel about Twitter user Charlie Kirk hater _420? Look what he said. It has 2 likes and 7 views. Jesus fucking Christ. It's insane. It is unbelievable how much culpability the right ignores and how much they place on the left. Like, the left is responsible for everything. Every Democratic politician is responsible for every annoying woke scold, every BuzzFeed article. Every left journalist is responsible for every left shit poster. But on the right, they're not even taking responsibility for the words of their own president, who they support. They'll vote for a guy, and that guy will promote political violence, and they'll be like, I don't know what that has to do with me. It's unbelievable.
But he literally
Unfucking believable.
in the Oxford Union in May. I found that terrifying.
Who cares?
I mean, he shouldn't still be in the job, because how can you possibly be the head of a debating society
about it
when you think the way to debate with people is murder them if they don't agree with you? But again, the gleeful celebration. This is supposedly one of the brightest students in Britain. You know, president of
I guess high IQ people really hated Charlie Kirk.
New Oxford
he can't
Union
be that
Debating
bright.
Society.
He can't be that bright if he's not considering what a political assassination could potentially lead to. Because where does this end? And that's like one of my
Where
biggest
does this
issues
end?
with a portion of the left. Their inability to see past the current moment. Right, you're celebrating it, but what's the long-term goal here?
Destiny is literally talking about the importance of turning down the heat all across the country. That's the entire thing he's been trying to talk about for an hour that none of you are willing to engage with him in. That is the entire thing that he keeps trying to talk about, and none of you want to listen to it.
Is the long-term goal to just have to descend to an environment of endless political assassinations and violence? And if we're going to have the left go up against the right in terms of violence, in terms of bloodshed.
Oh my God, is she gonna do the like, who do you think would win? Millennial baristas with they, them pronouns, or the right? And it's like the PNW gorilla guy or whatever, murking his chicken with a 12 gauge, you know?
In terms of shootings, I don't know. I would just venture to say that the right is probably going to do a better job in, taking people out than the left is. This is just a really disgusting.
That's so great. That's such a canned line, dude. That's so fucking embarrassing for her to say. That's so embarrassing. In a conversation where Destiny keeps trying to talk about the importance of encouraging the President of the United States to turn down the political violence.
Ideology, and we need to move away from it. And again, I want to emphasize your personal behavior, the way you choose to behave and respond to things on a day-to-day basis has an impact. Okay,
Unlike the president. The president's behavior has no impact on this.
Change you want to see in the world. So when you have a huge audience, and that audience of young people who look up to you, who feel inspired by you.
Also, Destiny is being the change you want to see in the world. Destiny is being a person who points out that the violence is coming from the right, the escalation in rhetoric is coming from the right, and that there's no point in taking this like performative, let's all tone down the violence talk seriously unless it's coming from the people actually committing it, you know? You might as well be demanding the fucking like students at an ongoing school shooting put down the fire extinguishers and chair legs they were about to defend themselves with, you know?
Here you essentially minimize political violence, or even make excuses for it, or deflect by blaming Trump for everything. Well, you're essentially indoctrinating people to support and normalize political violence. We can't be doing that. I don't care how people behave on the right. That's not going to have an impact on how I personally choose to behave.
As opposed to the behavior of people on the left, which, you know, sparked this entire political shift. Also, what an unbelievable thing to say. I don't care what the President of the United States of America does. That doesn't affect my behavior or positions at all. It should? Your positions and behavior are supposed to be, like, you are not an island. You are a being that relates to your environment. So when your environment changes, your positions, your beliefs are supposed to adjust alongside that information. So, for example, in an environment where the right is overwhelmingly responsible for turning up the political violence, it is reasonable to look at this dynamic and go, maybe it's actually not useful to spend an hour browbeating a left-leaning YouTuber for refusing to condemn the violence while simultaneously ignoring its propagation from the entire other side of the aisle.
I want to be better than that. I want to preach dialogue. Okay, debate, have these...
The will kill you when it comes to it was pretty insane, too. Just right-wing grift shit. Right-wingers love to hear that shit, you know? The average right-winger, even the average rural right-winger, is useless, fat, and probably a domestic abuser. Like, the idea that they would be capable of mobilizing some kind of, like, tactical militia to overtake a city, you know, where all the things are made and the actual world revolves around, ridiculous. But they love to fantasize about it. There's nothing they love more than the idea that their, you know, tactical gear that they bought from the local gun shop would be able to, like, hold New York City. They love that shit.
Conversations. And, you know, Charlie Kirk, the last debate he and I had, you know, Dusty would like you to believe that I agree with the right on everything. I don't agree with the right on everything.
Defensive,
we debated about whether or not you have to have children in order to care about the future of this country.
What?
So we have a debate, and it's fine. He has a right to his opinions. I have the right to mine. If you care about democracy, the democratic process is reliant on having these types of conversations and reliant on not resorting to violence because you're unable to articulate your arguments effectively against the other side. That's what I see this assassination as. Again, it was cowardice. It was disgusting. It was cold-blooded murder, and no one should be celebrating it, and no one should be mocking the family members of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, very well said. I just want to thank all the panel for joining me. Jack, I want to sort of say to you, I can tell by your demeanor today how profoundly impacted you've been.
My God.
Oh, man. This country does not have a future, huh?
By your friend's murder. God. And I'm just very sorry to you, as his friend, that you've had to endure what must have been a hellish week. And
actual ghouls.
I'd like to send my very best to the family who I know you talked to. And I'm sorry for some of the things you've had to hear from Destiny.
It is super cool that literally nobody on Earth believes anything. At least not people who make money in media. It's cool. They don't believe a single thing they say. All of it is performative. It's crazy. I don't know how society survives shit like that. Genuinely, I don't. I have no idea how the world can move. Like, I don't know how you make any forward progress in a world where people are like this.
This debate, but thank you for coming on despite what you've been going through, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, Piers. I'll convey that to them.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the panel. Thank you.
That was crazy. Cynical people exist in institutions. Dude, it's not comparable to what we see today. I'm sorry. This isn't about cynicism. We're like...
Alright, that's it. Enough for me. For stopping by. Yeah.